taking off like a Boeing. If the volume spikes, then it's time to trade. Mighty 90 setting up, it's time to get paid. Dr. Chad on the mic, time to get focused. We don't need any indicator, hocus pocus. It's all about the price, just watch it move. Manage your risks so you don't lose. First hour of trading is all we need. Focus on the patience and forget about greed.
Hey everyone, welcome to today's day trading live stream for Thursday, November 13th. S&P is down 30 points, NASDAQ down 167, Russell down 18, Dow down 150. Gold's flat, silver's down 0.6%. Notes and bonds are red, 10-year yield up 0.75, oil up 1%, natural gas up 0.25%. Soybeans green, wheat a little bit red, corn a little bit green, euro and the pound are both up 0.25%, and Bitcoin up 1%. VIX back above 18, 18.11, up 3.4% from yesterday. 1 minute to the close. I will be doing a 1DTE at the open. So I was dropping my kids off at this time, but at 7:30, so an hour ago, had a little shake in the market as if CPI was released, but it wasn't, right? Was there a surprise CPI data release? What's going on there? Anybody? Did I say close? Yeah, getting ahead of myself. It's the open. It's the opening bell. Opening bell in 4 seconds. There it is. SPX has an expected daily range today of 36.6. Puts the upper expected move about 68.63, and the lower one about 67.90. And my 1DTE should be firing about right now. Or no, 1 minute. Overnight VIX gap up 3.88%. S&P through pre-market lows. NASDAQ through pre-market lows. Russell, a little bit of a bounce. We've got the Russell, which pre-market kind of broke through a few different levels here from the overnight lows, yesterday's lows, Monday lows. NASDAQ's got kind of something similar here. It's got a few little areas where the market bounced. It opened up right at those levels. There's my 1DTE. Had a couple earnings over the night. Cisco had earnings. It's up over 5%. The other one was Disney, down 7.5%. I should have shorted Disney like I talked about in Power Hour for taking away my ESPN. Got some quantum names also in the red. CoreWeave down 3.5%. Hood's down almost 3%. NVIDIA's down 2%. Biggest movers to the upside, Cisco, Jumia, Baba. Oh, you know what? I didn't even know it happened. So I guess I need to post here. My looks like my euro got stopped out overnight. Yeah, sure did. Let me just post that in the trade channel just for. Do still have my Apple swing on. It's up a little bit. MU is green. A lot of the other chips acting weak. NVIDIA acting weak. Meta is giving a nice little bounce. Meta and Apple on the Mag 7. Goldman Sachs hit a new all-time high yesterday. Bank of America also did. Coinbase, MSTR, Hood, Circle all falling. Bitcoin pushing lower. S&P, NASDAQ pushing lower. S&P coming down to Tuesday's lows. Not seeing any. Oh, Robinhood's got a big volume bar already on that down move. That's about it on the big volume bars that I see.
Order filled.
VIX back up to 18.5. Hood with the big volume bar breaking below yesterday's lows. Well, the big volume, this is kind of obvious, but big volume either means a reversal or a continuation. Most of the time. So like, if I see like in Hood, if you've watched the volume runner's course, so with this just kind of first couple bars, it gets a big volume bar. A lot of times, you'll see continuation. So we would try to get in at around a level for continuation lower. If I see a stock falling, and let's say it's falling for 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes, and then it has a big volume bar, a lot of times I look at that as exhaustion. So you got to kind of take the volume in line with other action. And then I'm always looking at, what are other stocks doing at the same time? What are the indices doing? That kind of thing. So, if you could use yesterday's low and Hood as kind of a level to manage risk around. So if we get up a little bit closer to that, you could take puts in Hood. I mean, that's a very legitimate trade. But I've just been really being a little bit more patient and waiting a little bit later in the morning to take trades. I've just found better success personally. Bitcoin's dipped, getting bought back up. Yeah, CoreWeave did fall off. It almost had a big volume bar as well. Yeah, Apple is making a run. That's what I got the swing trade on for. See if we can blast through all-time highs. It's at 276. All-time highs is 277.32. IWM back down through lows.
Autofilled.
On that swing trade in Apple, I'm going to go ahead. So I did 10 lots. I'm going to go ahead and I'll take 6 of 10 off at $4. And that should get me real close, pretty close to all-time highs right there if it pushes into it. Take a little chips off the table. All right, what else we got here? Hood did make another push lower. Put in the volume bar, bounced a little bit, made another little extension, starting to bounce again. S&P, NASDAQ, Russell still pushing lower. I was kind of hope we'd get a little bit of a pause and bounce into these levels in the indices for kind of a good entry short, but everything's just falling. Falling. Chips are coming down pretty heavy now. Everything except Apple. Apple's mooning. Banks coming down. Crypto's coming down. Everything except Apple.
Order filled. Order partially filled.
S&P's about 8
Order
points
filled.
away from its lower expected move. Yeah, we pushed through Tuesday's low, didn't we? Next stop, Monday lows. NASDAQ's down 1.3%. S&P down about 0.8. The good news about missing out on the shorts when the market starts flushing is what? What's the good thing about missing out on the shorts? Yeah, you can buy cheaper, yeah. What else? You can play the bounce, yes. Kind of both of those are kind of in line with what I was really thinking is we know a short squeeze is just around the corner. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow. Maybe not till next week, but it's coming after you get some good downside. We saw that play out beautifully this week. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Friday, Monday, Tuesday. Not so much yesterday. Russell getting a little bounce. Apple pulling back and quite get up to all-time highs. Pulling back right at yesterday's highs. Had some big volume though. See if we can get a little dip and rip in Apple. Yeah, Gex can help, Vash. So can a trend line. So can the RSI indicator. So can MACD. So can VWAP. It's all the same. Horoscope, yeah, they're all the same. Tarot cards. IWM getting the biggest bounce. Could look at could use this Tuesday's low level in S&P to get some puts if we think it's going lower. Crypto's starting to bounce. Hood coin MSTR. ARM had a big volume bar. It's getting a little bounce. Same with SMH and TSM. A lot of chips, big volume spikes. Do I want to take a short on this bounce? That's my question. I think I'm just going to go with SPY. I don't really see a stock that I like much better. I'm going to do 1 DTE puts on SPY as it bounces up to this level. I'm going to use the 677 puts. Oh no, don't run away from me. I'm trying to get filled at 218. Get back up there and fill me before you go anywhere. Tesla already pushed back down.
Order cancelled. Order filled.
It's trying to get me filled. There we go. Filled at 218. Now let's see if we get any continuation here. Got a 15-minute close under that level. First little bounce, see if we get some continuation.
Order cancelled. Order filled.
Man, Apple is reversing now. Didn't get to its all-time high. Where are you going, Apple? Get back up there. Bank's starting to bounce. Bitcoin starting to bounce up to highs of day. One DTE is already up 7%. Ooh, big bounce with volume in Bitcoin. Coinbase and MSTR bouncing. Circle is not bouncing. S&P are pushing a little bit above that level here. Wait for this candle to close. Bitcoin looks like it wants to go somewhere. See, now that, who was asking about that? Tony, sorry. Now this is a big volume bar that's kind of starting. So I would not look at that as exhaustion. I would look at that as more like potential to go somewhere in Bitcoin. Russell starting to dip. S&P and NASDAQ still holding their bounce a little bit. Circle staying weak. Hood, just kind of a little bounce, still staying under yesterday's lows. Chips, big bounce. Well, big bounce in AMD, big bounce in TSM. Yeah, Aaron, 677 1 DTE puts. Yep. ARM SMCI rolled back over to lows. So different chips doing different things here. NVIDIA is kind of in between. Not a real strong bounce, but hasn't rolled over yet. Russell coming back down towards lows. Need the S&P to follow. Tesla still going lower. Tesla coming down to the bottom of this range that it's been chopping around in for a couple months. All right, S&P trying to bounce a little bit again. Apple trying to hold above pre-market highs. Netflix back to highs today. Is Netflix going to have another big day? Netflix has been on quite a little run the last week. From 1080 to 1160. I don't use a stop loss, Aaron. Position size with options based on the debit you pay. Go watch my directional trading trade plan video to get an idea of how you manage risk, how you position size, or how I do. All right, so we're pushing up against my level. So I'm using this as a line in the sand, which is the low from, what was that, Tuesday? So that's the level that I'm managing risk around. I like to wait for the candle close here. So if we close above that green line, basically I'll bail. Russell acting weaker. Bitcoin's little spike kind of paused. There goes Netflix through yesterday's highs. They really want to pump the price of that one up before the split, I guess. Banks still acting weak. Hood's still acting pretty weak. Still some weakness in some of the chips and some big bounces in a few of them. S&P Nasdaq's little bounce is still holding. Russell, apparently Russell was the one to take. It's acting a little bit weaker. It's heading back to lows. Let's see if it can drag the other two down with it. Netflix houses. I don't even know what to think about that. I don't even know what that is. All right, so it closed right back down at the level. Now it's kind of bouncing back up. I've got my order ready to close SPY here. If it doesn't give us a nice little drop here. Russell about to break lows. Bitcoin kind of rolling over. I mean, all these little bounces are getting pushed back down. A lot of little wickiness here in SPY. There goes Russell through lows. Tesla's still going lower. Meta and Microsoft, decent bounce. Nvidia and Google, some very small bounces. SMCI, ARM, both through lows. Django, I marked it at 36.6. PLTR breaking lower. Come on. Pull it down, baby. Pull it all down. Coin rejected at yesterday's lows. Hood making new lows. Banks are making new lows. All right, your turn, SPY. Your turn, SPY. I took SPY. I didn't see any stocks that I thought looked much better to short, which is why I used SPY, and I had that level to manage risk around. So I like that. So SPY is kind of in the middle. We got some of these that had bigger bounces and are just starting to roll over. We have some that had smaller bounces. We have some that are continuing to flush through lows, like PLTR, ARM, SMCI. Then you got IWM, which is just flushing. Yeah, big rollover in Bitcoin after that spike. Not sure what that was all about. Microsoft is still bouncing. Apple is still kind of holding up. It's just more choppy than anything. Tezzy, not looking good. It's down 4.5%. It's coming down to the bottom of that range I mentioned on the daily chart. All right, I'll put my first profit target in SPY at 245. If it can get down towards lows, it should hit. Be back in 1 minute. No follow through. S&P kind of popped back up. Russell's also bouncing after it
Order
had a
cancelled.
nice flush. Microsoft is acting strong after it
Order
had that
filled.
big reversal yesterday.
Order cancelled.
Microsoft had that big reversal yesterday, and then excuse me, a little dip this morning, and it's popping right back up to yesterday's highs. I was already in Apple, so I didn't take another swing in it, but looks like it could have some legs. All right, S&P back above my level. Let me get my finger back on the trigger to close. Still got about 2 minutes here. See if it makes a reversal here in the next minute or so. Do not like the aggressive bounce. AMD's pushing. A lot of big bounces coming in. Crypto's bouncing back. Banks bouncing. Everything's bouncing. PLTR, Tesla, everything. So I like to wait for the candle close, but you also got to be cautious of managing risk here. I don't want it to get out of hand. A lot can happen within a 5-minute bar. Meta pushing too through highs. All right, I'm going to close this. Filled at $1.50. So, I mean, this really looks more like kind of a reversal of what I was talking about yesterday, right? Had this push down, bounced, kind of failed to sell off. Some of these other stocks getting strong. Apple's just kind of chopping. Not doing much at all after that initial push. My 1DTE is already up 11%. Now Apple's dipping a little bit. Well, I think that's right, Tony. In at 218 out of 150. Yeah, those calls. Those SPY calls.
Order filled.
Still
Order partially
a little
filled.
continuation higher. Still within its first 15-minute range here.
Order filled.
No, I was short. I had puts. AMD's pushing. Yeah, I was trying to get short on that bounce at that level for continuation lower. Nice little bounce, and Apple's coming down. I'm just going to wait here. You know, you got, I mean, that seemed like a pretty decent flush at first. I mean, we're still within the first 15-minute range here in the S&P, NASDAQ. Some of the other stocks have made a little bit bigger extent, like Tesla extended much more. AMD's about to go green. Meta and Microsoft going through highs. Are we already into the short squeeze? S&P back up to highs a day. That was fast. That was fast. S&P up to
Order filled.
almost up to yesterday's lows,
Order
which is
cancelled.
where we opened. Then we got the NASDAQ pushing back up to that level, which was previous bounces, so it could act as resistance here. Would not be a bad shot to take some shorts in the NASDAQ right here with just a small level of risk. But I don't like the flush and then the bounce here, so I'm just going to wait. That's what I'm going to do. I'm more inclined to think that that was all she had to the downside, and we're, going to all-time highs. Maybe not today, but on our way back up. If we reject here, I'll still consider potential shorts here this morning, later today. If we rip through this, I'll be a little bit more bullish. Yep, just like any other level, Abosh. A level is a level is a level. You can use Gex if you like it. AMD pausing it unchanged at yesterday's close. Apple still pulling back after that aggressive run up early. All right, so S&P and NASDAQ getting a little rejection so far at that level. But this could take a little while to play out, so I'm going to wrap the stream here. If I see anything that materializes, I will post in the day trades channel, directional trades channel. Hopefully Apple can get back up to all-time highs today. Take some chips off the table there. Otherwise, we will see you all in Power Hour. Take care.